Hello there. I don't suppose you'll be surprised if my pause for thought today is focused on football, because it's what everybody's talking about at the moment, isn't it? The English victories are just what the country needed, they say, to restore the good feeling that we've lost after COVID. Certainly it was exciting to watch the England-Germany match, and then the second match last Saturday night got us all excited with a 4-0 victory. And all the pundits were saying, yes, we'll all feel better now because England is doing so well. Well, I wonder. Sports victories, whether it be football or tennis, whatever, it's all very well, but these things don't actually change anything, do they? Sport success comes and goes. We moved up to South Manchester in the early 1980s when Manchester United Football Club were just beginning to be really successful. And of course we've seen them over the years become more and more successful. But when you get to the top, the only way is down. I notice how people use religious language for sporting occasions or for sports events. I was listening to what they were saying about Gareth Southgate this week, how the two England victories had redeemed him. They were talking about self-redemption, and they were talking too about how he must have really been agonising over his failure in 1996, that infamous penalty shootout where his penalty didn't go in. And some of the pundits were saying perhaps this has been hanging over his head all those years ever since, but now he's redeemed himself. Well, I really hope he's stronger than people think, and maybe he managed to put that one failure behind him a long time ago. Some people were suggesting that maybe he hadn't slept well at nights ever since and he can sleep well again now. But I would have thought, listening to him talk on the television, that once the initial shock was over, he got on with life, and it certainly appears to in recent times, doesn't he? But now they say he's redeemed himself with these England football victories. But what if he'd never become the England team coach and had the opportunity to do what he's done? Would he still have this failure hanging over him, like a weight that he carries through life? Certainly as far as the footballing pundits were concerned, it seems that his mistake all those years ago would not have been forgotten. I was reflecting on our lives as Christians. It's amazing, isn't it, that with all our failures, we don't have to redeem ourselves. We would never sleep at night, would we? Because we know that we constantly make mistakes. We miss the penalties. We don't do the things we ought to do, as well as doing the things we didn't ought to do. Self-redemption, humanly speaking, is impossible. But thank God Jesus has done it all. I love those verses in the letter to Romans chapter 3, and I particularly like the way the Message Bible puts it. Let me read it for you. It's entitled, God has set things right. But in our time something new has been added. What Moses and the prophets witnessed to all those years has happened. The God setting things right that we read about has become Jesus setting things right for us. And not only for us, but for everyone who believes in him. For there is no difference between us and them in this. Since we've compiled this long and sorry record as sinners, both us and them, and proved that we are utterly incapable of living the glorious life God wills for us, God did it for us. Out of sheer generosity, he put us in right standing with himself, a pure gift. He got us out of the mess we're in and restored us to where he always wanted us to be. And he did it by means of Jesus Christ. God sacrificed Jesus on the altar of the world to clear that world of sin. Having faith in him sets us in the clear. It's not our circumstances that enable us to feel good, nor relying on feelings or things that motivate our feelings, but it's the cross of Christ that sets us free from sin and death and gives us peace and joy and hope in our hearts. His death has freed us from fear and despair, no matter what's going on in the world around us. We feel good not because of what we've done, but because of Jesus' love for us, each one of us. He died for us, and he's promised he will be with us always. Nothing can separate us from this wonderful love. Well, there's what redemption is really all about. It's not us, but it's all in God's love for you and for me.